Uh, I don't know, just out there trying to play basketball, get these last few wins, get locked in, ready for the playoffs, take advantage of the games on the details, try to impact the game any way I can, find opportunities to be aggressive and on offense, but really locking on defense.
These last few games going up against teams that are in almost must-win situations, do you feel like that's sort of been a good preparation for you guys going into the playoffs?
Yeah, I think so. It keeps us locked in on what we need to do. Taking advantage of these games, these guys are going hard, giving us their best performances. So it takes our game to another level, being ready for the postseason. The guys are hungry, and some of them are potential matchups. So really locking in on the game plan on their guys so we can be ready for whoever we face.
Nick was just saying that part of the reason you think you shine at this time of year is your willingness to take shots. It doesn't matter what the circumstances are.
Yeah, it's time to win. You know, nothing else matters. Maybe to just lock in at the task at hand and play basketball. That's what it comes down to this time of the year. And my main focus is winning. It doesn't matter how you get it done, just get it done.
Is it fun though when the emotion of the intensity of the playoff game with a game like this? Is it fun for you?
Yeah, for sure. You know, it's what we play for. You know, it's why we lace them up. You know, for tough games, for the competition. You know, and I think it just takes our compete level to a higher level when it comes to playoff time.
You've had a bunch of battles with Wade over the years in the playoffs again tonight. What's it been like for you?
It's been amazing. You know, as a kid growing up, I really tried to model my game like his, similar size, athleticism. I really tried to be like D-Wade. You know, I watched a lot of his highlight tapes and really go to the park and just practice those moves. And it's been a lot of fun to be able to go up against somebody that you idolize and compete against and be able to play with him or play against him in the playoffs as a rookie. You know, something that I always dreamed about. So congrats to him and the amazing career that he has, and he's impacted so many players in the league now and so many kids growing up.
And Norm, is it nice to see a guy like that go out on his own terms, still kind of playing at such a, I mean, he could easily keep playing.
Yeah, for sure. You know, they always say Father Time will catch up to you, but you know, it still doesn't look like that for him. You know, I think he's still got 2 or 3 more years in him, but he feels like it's time for him to hang up the laces. So it's amazing for him to be able to go out on his own terms, and the reception that he gets in their arenas and his last games there is amazing.
Where we want to be, yeah. We want to sustain that for 48 minutes if we possibly can. We rotated well. We did a good job, but for the most part, I think tonight was a game of who was making more shots, and I think they kind of ran out of gas and started missing some shots, which helped us out. But yeah, if we keep that intensity up and can communicate and rotate the way we did in that fourth and overtime, I think we'll be pretty tough to beat.
These last few games against teams that are in almost must-win situations, has that been good preparation, do you think, for you guys going into the playoffs?
For sure. The fact that we know that they're fighting for a playoff spot is a good challenge for us. Preparing us for the playoffs, we can ask for a better situation. And also, we want to continue to win and keep home court if we possibly can. But coming into these last couple games or last week or so, going against teams knowing that they're giving it their all because they're trying to fight for a spot, makes the game, a little bit more interesting, a lot more fun to be in, and kind of like a small playoff-like atmosphere.
You guys only played 9 players tonight, but Nick, sort of messing around with
Mm-hmm.
the 5-man units and
Yeah.
making sure everybody sort of played together.
Mm-hmm.
Does it matter to you if you have a normal time going out and then a normal time coming back in, or is it just you're comfortable playing with anybody?
Yeah, not necessarily. I mean, I could play with. I mean, we have a lot of great players on this team, so I think we all can adapt and adjust and play with whoever. But obviously, I think the biggest thing is just minutes of playing in certain spurts and figuring it out and just keeping your rhythm. I think that matters most. But for the most part, it's good to get rest. It's good to get rhythm. It's good to play minutes. Can't complain about any situation being in this league. So, and luckily, we were not one of those teams fighting for a spot. We clinched, and we just gotta get prepared for the next step.
We were talking earlier about Dwyane Wade.
Mm-hmm.
When you look back on his career, he clearly looks like he could keep going for another
For
2
sure.
more years.
Definitely.
Do you kind of respect seeing a guy leaving on his own terms and going out
Definitely.
on top in a sense still?
Definitely, especially the way he's played here in this building the last couple times. So I think he had 30, 35 the last time he played in tonight. Still hitting some step back threes and contested hands in his face. So he's definitely got some years to under his belt if he wanted to. But you got to respect that he's going on his own terms when he's ready, when he wants to say so, and when his body's done. He's had a great career. Hopefully it's not the end of it. Hopefully they can make a playoff spot and finish off strong. But, it's good to see him and play against him and compete against him for one last time.
You were that guy contesting him a lot of those times.
Some of the times, yeah. I don't say a lot of the times. Some of the times. It was tough. So he didn't make all the shots on me. But, yeah. But he's hitting some tough shots. And, I've been in that situation many times before. So you do the best you can and hope he misses. And tonight he said he was hitting some tough ones.
You okay? It looked like you stepped on the camera.
We'll find out tomorrow, man. Most of the stuff when you get older, you figure out what's sore and what hurts the next day. But I think I'll be fine.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, when our defense is not as aggressive, it's you give the other team a chance to make the right read, and they have a little more space, a little more time to make decisions and finding the open guy. So once you take more of the aggressive stance and attack that ball, and the guards did a great job of getting to the ball and being more aggressive. That that allows us as bigs to make a different read and kind of read whatever the ball is going to do and talk and communicate what's going to happen.
Do you feel like these last few games going up against teams that are in almost must-win situations? Do you feel like that's been good preparation for you guys?
I've been saying all along, any exposure for me, it's positive. Getting more minutes, more acclimated with the guys. Any time for me out there, it's positive. So I don't care, what other team situation is. It's all about us.
Even in a game where you guys only played 9 players, the substitution patterns were different from the first to the second to the third. Is it at a point where you're just comfortable with whoever's on the floor?
Yes. That's and in the playoffs, you're going to have to make adjustments. You might have a great, confident game plan going in, but then, once you apply it, things happen. It's basketball, and you can predict everything, so you don't have to adjust. So you got to be ready.
I mean, I think as I think I probably should be, I'm really critical of my decision making down the stretch of a close game, and when I'm calling timeouts, what plays I'm calling, who's in, what defensive coverages we are in, and we executed really well, right? We made some matchup changes, which we thought would end up in a switch to get us our better defenders onto Wade and Dragic, and those things turned out pretty good. So pretty happy. The only one that I would take back at this moment is we got the rebound tied with 34.8. I probably would have liked to taken a timeout there and maybe thought about a 2-for-1. Maybe.
You did go back to finish with Marc and Danny and with Kyle. And do you like that group just because of matchups or because of what it gave you?
Well, I think it was again, I like it when it's a hard decision for me, right? Which means that either Freddie or Norm or Serge or one of those guys, OG, is playing so well that and it was Norm tonight, obviously, right? Did Norm miss a shot tonight? Come on, Norm. So we, so I was, and it didn't seem like Freddie had he was having a tough luck night. A couple in and out threes, and that layup rolled off. So that ended up kind of hurrying up my decision there with Danny. That's it, really, I guess.
Sorry, go ahead. I know one game's not going to make this decision for you, but did you is Norm sort of inching his way to sort of stealing that sort of 9th spot? Who's
our 8th guy again? Oh, right. Norm's going to be involved for sure. And again, I think it could, he played a short stint early, right? I think it could shape out because Kawhi picked up a second early. I mean, there's a lot of ways it could shape up. He could be the 6th guy one night and the 9th guy another night and the 7th guy one night.
He does seem to have a sense of big game play, though. Like when you need him to be big in big games, he comes up solid. Is that fair assessment, do you think?
Yeah, I think Doug, like who he is he's an athlete, so he can make some high-level, high-energy plays. He's really believing in his shooting, right? So he's going to take them, and that's part of the battle in a big game. Are you really hunting them down, and are you really ready to pull the trigger when they come to you? He's okay there, and every now and then he'll break break free or get a cut or something and go down the lane for a big slam dunk or something. So he can make big plays in big games. Yep.
Those bridge minutes from the first to second and then the third to fourth, you tried a whole bunch of different things, like Pascal on the bench and then Kyle and Kawhi in the bench,
Yep.
and then Kawhi and Danny in the bench. Are you just experimenting,
Well,
looking for something that works?
I think as you can see, I'm trying to re-enter a couple of the starters at some point. Kyle comes out 5-minute mark or so he can enter for sure at the quarter. Tonight, Kawhi picked up his second, so I ended up deciding to put Kyle and Kawhi back in to start the quarter. I mean, it's a little bit of experimentation, Eric, but it's also a little bit of what the game dictates. I was actually, again, I don't like premeditate it too much, but I was actually, as the game was going, I was going to do it the other way around. I was going to let Kawhi run a little longer, take Pascal out earlier, and bring Pascal back to start the second, or towards the end of the first to let Pascal and Kyle both play with the other second unit guys. So didn't quite go the way I thought. That's why I don't bother. I don't bother writing them out or anything because the flow of the game seems to change it all the time.
Do you have a sense of those hybrid lineups that you like versus the ones you don't, or is it just a matter of what's going on in the game?
How about if I say I like them all? I like them all.
Okay.
I like them all. I think we're versatile. I think all those guys can play. I think all those guys want to play. They need to play, and it's up to us to adjust to which ones are out there and find who's playing on the night and find the mismatches and all those things. It's part of why we're doing so many, because you just never know what you're going to have to see. But us being able to adjust to our own different offense and defense lineups, the coverages are changing, who's in there, and offensive sets are changing with who's in there, and we got to be able to do it on the fly quickly.
That's part of your coaching philosophy, not being premeditated and sort of improvising your own personal idea.
I guess so, Doug. I'm not. This wasn't like when I was graduated from college. I said, you know what? I'm not going to think about anything. I'm just going to wing it. I think I've been forced into becoming that way with the jobs and the experience I've had. Right?
Winging it is still what you do.
In your heart. Winging it's a strong word, maybe, but just coaching on the fly a little bit, because I think again the minor leagues and the European leagues I was in force you to one night have one guy and one night have three others, and next week you got three. You just have to be able to kind of say, well, geez, that wasn't that bad. Everybody's making a big deal that we just lost three guys. Well, we put three new guys in there and they played pretty good. And we used to talk a lot about. Some nights we'd have four new guys, Doug, in the starting lineup, and we'd say, okay, and we'd let them play and let them play and let them play, and you'd tell them midway through the third quarter, you'd say, I can see chemistry developing with you. I know you guys just all got here, but I can see it. As the game's going longer here, you're getting to know each other a little bit, and it's a little bit what we're doing.